I was looking at you through this thing. I made a thing. Like the things like talking about me. I was like, that's stupid that they're talking about me. So I hate hearing you talk about me, even though I like it because like everything makes sense. But I also fucking hate hearing it. That's true, but it's important to look in the mirror sometimes. I wonder what this is. Can I have a state? Ooh, that was. My internet's working slow. Oh, that was a prank phone call I did. Cool. Just do it. Sounds easy unless you're here.
Explain to you something. I'm about to explain to you something very messed up that is happening to you. Do you like my bangs? I don't know if it was a mistake. I think it's good because I have a big forehead. So, anyways,
if you're self-conscious about your forehead, then keep the bangs. Your forehead's fine though.
God knows we need the help. Human beings are inherently terrified creatures. Why wouldn't we be? From the moment we're born, nothing makes any sense at all. You come to this world, you don't know who created you. You don't know how it's possible to even create this world. You don't know where you go once you're done with this world. My brain hurts every time I think about it. But then as you grow up, you find even more terrifying things, like paying rent, falling in love, breakups, backstabbing. Your parents can be not perfect. They can be abusive. Children get hurt in the world. It's just the more you know, the more scared you get. So you need a coping mechanism, and you're not able to consciously develop coping mechanisms and function, just like you're not consciously pumping blood through your veins and through your heart. Your brain is not only in charge of the physical, but is also in charge of the psyche and the mind when it comes to things that need to function that are not on manual. So every time you get scared, which we just established, starts happening.
But people like show up and actually want to fight me. It happens in real life. I'm not imagining it.
And the first step is for you to forget. For you to forget how scary it is to be alive. How does it do that? It manipulates you and gaslights you quite literally. This is the process. You have all these narratives and voices in your head. You think it's only one narrative, but it's more than one. Some show up when you get anxious. Some show up when you fail at something. Some show up when you feel like you're falling in love. They all have their own pattern. Each of these narratives are their own individual characters within your head. And they're very toxic.
I'm not schizophrenic.
Why? Because each of them are born through a moment of fear and trauma. For example,
one of my best friends. Not my best friend. My real best friend, like my best person friend, is probably Jeffrey Regan.
You grow up with this voice in your head.
But Drew Bush is like my.
You can't sit with the others. You're never going to be accepted. You perceive that voice as you not having confidence. So you go
I think me, Legan, and Zavadka would probably all be best friends if we all lived in the same place.
There's this method called depersonalization, where you depersonalize the character with that narrative, meaning that it's no longer you. You have dissociated yourself from it, but not only dissociated from the feeling, but you have given the feeling a personality. So instead of saying, I am not confident, I have anxiety, when I feel anxious, I do that. You give this character a name, for example, Mr. Anxiety. Mr. Anxiety makes me feel this way when that...
The fuck do you want, Dad? Why does the internet work so slow out here in Darkschwitz, Birkenau?
Michael, who do you think is stronger in a relationship, a man or a woman?
A woman.
Okay, tell me why.
Well, it takes 6 men to carry a man to his grave, and only 1 woman to put him there.
It's my dad. What's up, baby?
Misconception about ADHD that no one's talking about, and that pisses me off. Because people with ADHD and their loved ones are suffering and they don't even know that it's because of this. If you want to know what I'm talking about, keep watching because it progressively gets worse. ADHD is short for Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. While that pretty much sums up the troubles of children with ADHD, it doesn't do the same for adults. It's actually pretty misleading. Why? Because the biggest issue with ADHD in adults is not hyperactivity and it's not lack of attention. Hyperactivity turns into internal frustration mostly and a busy mind, and the lack of attention is there, but it's not the big problem. The big problem is a dopamine deficiency. Dopamine is the chemical that gets released in your brain and makes you feel good. It basically is the very thing that makes you feel happy and motivates you to do things because you know at the end of a task,
So that's
this
why I
chemical is
just
going
get
to be
pumped up with
released
amphetamines and
to feel
go
good.
work for
So that's
12
why you do
hours
things.
because
You do that
I'm
subconsciously,
basically
of
on
course. But imagine if there was no
my
internal
life
reward
is
for getting things done.
essentially
Imagine that there was very few things that made you feel good. Imagine if there was no reward to your hard work.
rampage.
And imagine that at the same time everything felt kind of frustrating. That is the main issue with ADHD in adults. That is why people think people with ADHD don't try hard enough, or they're lazy, or they don't care. It's not
No one
that.
thinks I'm lazy.
It's just that our brains don't give us the reward that your brains give you when you do things. So it's that much harder for us to motivate ourselves and force ourselves into doing
And
things.
I feel
We
just
can
as
only
good
do things
pissing
that we
someone off
truly
as I
care
do
about,
making them
because
happy.
if we don't care about the thing that we're doing right now, then we can't look forward to the dopamine release at the end, because it's not going to be there. And that is why ADHD medication are all stimulants. They stimulate your brain. They balance your dopamine deficiency. If you want to know more about that and what happens when you take the medication, if you should, let me know in the comments.
I still
Goodbye.
feel beautiful though.
This judgment makes me
Your
feel...
fangs are fine.
Here are some tips and tricks.
It's my friend Kelly.